Ready? Good afternoon. Deputy Chief Timothy Peak, Atlanta Police Department, Field Operations Division. Uh, Reason we're here today is we, for number one, wanted to really and truly thank the community for all the work that you do with us, as well as really and truly sharing some of the great successes that our law enforcement partners are constantly working together to do, with the Fulton County Sheriff Department being represented here, as well as the city of South Fulton, collectively working together to deal with the issues that we're having surrounding the auto thefts, as well as the larceny from autos that we're dealing with, ultimately the vehicle break-ins. Our plea is for you to join us within a hard push for community policing, and I say that by being good stewards and policing yourselves to stop leaving keys inside of our vehicles. Unfortunately, when you leave those keys in the vehicles, what happens is that car is taken and it's utilized for other crimes, which makes it hard, and it's a drain on our resources. Earlier in the year, we started out, there were about 70% of vehicles that were left with the keys in the ignition, or the vehicle was just left running. As we enter into this fall season, we have done a great job reducing that number, but now we're at 61%, which is far too many. What does that percent look like? We'll use a rough number of approximately 2,500 vehicles that have been stolen in the city of Atlanta this year. Unfortunately, more than 1,500 of those vehicles, more than 1,500 out of 2,500, the keys were either left in the vehicle or the vehicle was left running. And we have to change that. We have to do better, because what happens when we do that, again, that tells the criminal, that element that's out there, that this is a good place to come and do their shopping. And we don't want the city of Atlanta, we do not want the metro Atlanta area known to be a good place for shopping as far as auto thefts and larceny from autos. So we're asking the community, please, to do a better job. Stop and take that key out that ignition. Turn that vehicle off and lock it. Do not leave it running for your DoorDash and all of your delivery companies. We need you to turn those vehicles off and secure them. We cannot continue to utilize the resources that we've done, and while we have proactive policing and everybody is stepping up, these are resources that could really and truly be used for other crimes that we're having to face, and not have to utilize them so much for just this one instant. Things that we could actually make decisions on and stop ourselves without the level of police intervention that we're using. So that's our appeal at this particular point in time, and what I want to do is call up Lieutenant Sokolowski so that he can share some of the great work that we've been doing with our law enforcement agencies. But again, our appeal is for it not to just be a law enforcement plan, but let it be a collective plan for the city of Atlanta. I should say that not only do we end up driving up crime in other categories by leaving those keys in the vehicle, we also, if you look at it, actually end up even driving our insurance rates up based upon the number of claims that are being made within our city of Atlanta footprint. So not only do we have the crime issue, but then it becomes a monetary issue for our insurance. And I believe that we can do better if we really and truly partner and put our minds to it. So thank you very much, and I'll turn it over to Lieutenant Sokolowski.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Lieutenant Sokolowski. I'm in charge of the Atlanta Police Auto Crime Enforcement Division. Last week, we did a detail with Fulton County Sheriffs, South Fulton, and we went after the people that we know had outstanding warrants and were wanted for larceny from autos or auto theft. Last week, when we completed this detail, what we did was we locked up 5 people. We had a total of 5 warrant arrests. They were outstanding for larceny from auto or theft from vehicle. On top of that, what we also had was 6 proactive arrests. While we had units out there in marked and undercover capacity, we saw other crimes that were being committed, and our officers were able to swoop in and arrest them. That being said, we recovered 5 handguns during those arrests. We recovered almost 400 grams of marijuana, 14 grams of cocaine, and $4,228. We also, during the detail, recovered 4 stolen automobiles. We had 2 impounds of vehicles that were abandoned on the side of the road. And we were able to take out 1 theft by receiving warrant, which was an individual that fled from us while we were doing the detail in a stolen car. We were able to capture him and place the appropriate charges on him. Some of the cases that we had, one was from 4204 Boulder Park Road. That was 126 grams of marijuana, $648 in currency. We recovered 2 handguns. And Mr. Polk was arrested in this case. Mr. Polk had 2 previous arrest cycles. Another one was 1999 Campbellton Road. Officers in an undercover capacity were sitting there watching the area because it's known for auto larceny and auto theft hotspot. They saw suspicious activity. When they engaged the people that were in the vehicles, there were 2 vehicles that were there. They recovered a Glock 23 handgun, a Taurus handgun, another semi-automatic pistol, 242 grams of suspected cocaine, of marijuana, 5 grams of cocaine, $3,058, a pocket scale, which is used to measure out the drugs. They arrested a Mr. Hughley, who had 3 arrest cycles, a Mr. Thomas, who had 30 arrest cycles, and a Miss Harris. She was arrested for obstruction, had no previous convictions or arrest cycles. But it was because of the work that Fulton County Sheriff, South Fulton, our investigators with their gang unit, auto theft and auto larceny units were able to accomplish this detail with the tremendous results that we had.
So as you have heard the statistics, what we want to again drive home is we can make a change at what's happening here. Please don't make your neighborhood be the best place to shop. We're entering again into the fall season. We have a robust fall crime plan of action where we're out and we're utilizing the resources to target these specific areas. Alongside that, we're also rolling out an additional larceny from auto detail to where we will put more resources in place to deal with this problem. But if we could make better decisions, again, with not leaving the keys in the vehicle so that the vehicles could be used for other crimes, you could help us tremendously by keeping your neighborhood off the map for being the best place to shop for a stolen auto or a car break-ins. We constantly say this over and over and over again, the Clean Car Campaign, and yes, we're tired of saying it, but unfortunately we see the need to say it, and once we see where the activity stops, then we can move on to something different. But the number of crimes that are being committed, we have to make sure that we are taking the keys out of the ignition, make sure that we're turning the vehicles off that have push start. We have to also make sure that we are clearing weapons and electronics and other important things out of our vehicles. We must do this. And there are some, we're not trying to take weapons out of any legal person's hand, but when you leave them in the car unsecured, they get into the hands of our youth. They get in the hands of gangs. They get in the hands of other felons, which then take those same weapons and go out and commit other crimes against our citizens. And we just want to get away from that footprint. So please, take your items out of your vehicle. Secure your weapon. If you're going to drive your car, it's fine to have your weapon. You're in there with it. But if you get out of your vehicle, take the weapon out. But if you can't take it out, then secure it with a lock box or another device that's made specifically for keeping that weapon in that vehicle. But we can no longer leave them in the glove box. We can no longer leave them in the console. We can no longer leave them under the seat. No, not even in the trunk. They must be secure so that they will not end up in the hands of someone else who's going to use it as an offensive tool towards our great citizens of Atlanta and the metro area as well. So that's our plea to you, and that's it. Any questions?
Lieutenant noted that a lot of these people that you brought in had multiple arrests. One of them had 30. Does it frustrate you guys to take them in, charge them, lock them up, and then have to go do the whole thing all over again?
Well, absolutely. Absolutely. It's frustrating when we enter into the place with the repeat offenders where we constantly having to arrest the same people for those offenses. And for that, we are working closely with the other parts of the criminal justice system, district attorney's office, the courts. We're going to do everything with our repeat tracking offender unit. We want to ensure that we do all that we can for those people who need to be in jail for committing the heinous crimes that we have to deal with. And if you're a repeat offender, we want you to stay. We recognize that there are some services that could be offered for others, but the City of Atlanta Police Department and our partners, we're going to work hard to put the people in jail that need to be in jail.